Everyone. So today we talk about how you can actually debug your CI checks that you get into your PRs, or there is some CI checks that fail in your PR, how you can run it on your local system and how you can debug them. So there are some different types of CI checks like timeouts, code runners, and some UI test and some static checks, CLA checks, and there are many more other checks also. So we talk about them. Let's talk about timeout checks. Sometime what happen, the GitHub resources and workflow, they exceed the time of the running files, and Oppia webs also using the resources. So due to that, the timeout checks will occur. What you can do in that case, just comment any maintainer of the Oppia Android repository, and he or she will rerun the checks, and that will solve your problem. So here is one demo PR in which some of the CH checks are failing. So some unit tests are failing and some static checks are failing. There is one lint check also failed. So later on in this video, I will show you how you can simply check the lint checks into your local system while you pushing the code into a GitHub. So we will check that also. So what you need to do is whatever the unit tests are failing, just click on details, and here you can find a big log, and it's sometimes it's take time, so don't worry. And here is very big log. So what, how you can find it out which particular test is failing? Just here in the search log, type failure and just hit enter, and you will find out there was one failure which is here in this particular function, and it's saying the what the cause of that failure is. uh, the text which it's accepting, it's not the doesn't match the selected view. So what we need to do is check whether what we exactly change in this test, what our requirement, and we have to change this test in text in that particular function. So let's jump into Ender Studio and see what we changed and what exactly the function says. So now I am here in the Ender Studio. So the problem is with this particular function that we see in the CA checks log. This test is failing, and why it's failing? It's saying good morning function it is, but I changed the for demo. I changed here from good morning to uh, just a test, good test. That's why it's failing. So now it will be pass the test. So let's see the another test which is failing. So now there is one static check is failing. What is exactly say? Let's see. Just open this test also in the new tab. You say the regex validation checks, they are failing, and what is exactly saying? You can see here the home fragment .xml, it's only color from the component color being used. So let's see what exactly it's saying uh, in the Ender Studio. And here also all the color decoration in component color component must be with the suffix of underscore color. So actually for demo purpose I changed something in the this color file, and these static checks is failing, these regex checks are failing. So let's see what exactly this means. Now I am in Ender Studio. So static check is saying that in the home fragment.xml in line number 16, only color from color component should be used. But here we see in line number 16 we using the color from color petal. So we have to replace this with component color. So when I replaced it will now solve the problem. I will now show you how you can simply run that static checks into your local system also before pushing the code, and also the lint checks. So to run the failure test into your local machine, what you need to do is simply go to the failure CA checks log, and it's this is a one way of doing this, but there is one wiki where you can, I will share the link of this wiki into the description below. So there is, you can see how to run static checks locally. So there are some ways you can that in your locally, but one easiest way to run the your failure checks into locally is by the command that is given in this uh, run block of the CI checks log. So just copy this command and go to your terminal. So for that, be sure you have a Bazel setup in your Oppia Bazel setup in your local machine, whether you are using uh, Mac, Windows. So there is a Bazel setup. I will share the Bazel setup uh, documentation and instruction below in the description below. You can find it out. Also, you can check the wiki section of Oppia Android repository. There also you find this Bazel setup instructions. So now I am in the terminal with the Oppia Android repository. Just paste the command that you copied from the chx log and hit enter. So it's take time first time when you're running this Bazel command, but I am running this second time. It's take less time to run. And now you can see here there is one failure of this component color file, but I already fixed that, the error of home fragment, that's why it's not showing that. But what you need to do is I will show you how you can fix that error also. So that's how you can run the chx locally with the help of Bazel and the command that is given uh, in the chx log. Now I fixed that error of fix of underscore color. So let's rerun the test and let's see it's now passing or failing the checks. So I paste the command of that I copy from the chx log and I paste it again, and let's give it some time and see it's passing or not. For this you need Bazel. Be sure you have the Bazel setup installed and it's working fine. So now you see the regex pattern checks are passed. So means there is no error. This way you can check the CA checks are passing in your local system. After that you can push your latest code with no errors and all into your pull request to avoid unnecessary commits. So there is one lint check also where some lint checks are failing. So if you add more than 100 lines, or I will show you what's different types of lint checks are failing, some code formatting or some. For that you can check it by pushing the before pushing the code into the GitHub. So firstly you need to, before, at the time of setup the Oppia Android, be sure you install this, run this command into your terminal before setting up the Oppia Android. It will automatically set up ktlint file into your project. So let's jump into Android Studio and see the demo of lint check failure. So now I am uh, here in the Android Studio, and you see uh, I causing some sort of lint failure, lint check failure. And let's see, I change the formatting of this code and try to push it in the GitHub, and let's see. If you install ktlint, it will be check the code formatting before pushing the code. So here it's saying exceed max length of 100 character. So we need to fix it. So I increase the length of, as you see this line, you have to keep all the code um, between this line, this block, and not exceed the length, max length of the characters, which is 100. So if I revert this changes and I try to push it, it will check the formatting of code and other formatting checks and ktlint checks, and it's saying it's passed all the checks and everything up to date. That's why it's not push anything. So that's how you can check the ktlint checks. There are also some sort of code owner checks. If you change something in the code owner file, so some sort of code owner CI checks will be failed. There is one code owner file checks that is passing for me, as I not changed anything in the code owner file or repository files. That why is passing the code owner changing in this pull request. And there is one more check, which is the CLA checks. Sometimes it's fail. If you are new in the Oppia Android or Oppia organization, you are a new contributor, you need to sign one CLA form. You have to fill that form, and after that, it will resolve the error. That's all for today tutorial of how you can tackle CI checks and how you can debug these CI checks. Hope you enjoy this video and learn something new. So that's all for today video. If you have any query, you can simply go to our GitHub discussion and create a new discussion, and feel free to ask any sort of new CI checks that you are feeling and you're not understanding what you have to do and how you can solve this. So also you can check out different wikis. If you not found any type of your problem here in the wiki, you can ping us. Feel free to ping us or mail us, or I recommend you to create a new GitHub discussion, and also set up the Bazel into your local system, because without Bazel it's difficult to run CI checks into your local machine. All the resources for I used into this video is in the description below, so you can check them out. So thank you everyone.